Well, joining us now to reflect on last night's welterweight clash in East London and to chat about other news in the world of boxing, we've got Larry Ekundayo and his manager, Ben Gray. Thank you very much for coming in tonight, gents. So, Larry, good win last night. Congratulations over Dale Evans.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be a winner?
Felt great. It felt great, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a tough fight, so yeah, it was really good.
And this one is sort of a journey towards maybe the Lonsdale belt, isn't it? So, how important was this win for you in your career, would you say?
I've been up for a bit, and coming back to win this is very important. It's a very important win for me. So yeah, looking forward to get the British, the Lonsdale belt.
Yeah, so this one being a British title eliminator, and your journey into boxing started quite a few years ago, didn't it? So how did you get into boxing, and what made you take up the sport?
I love boxing. From when I was young, my uncle used to box, and also where I grew up from, you gotta learn how to fight. And also my siblings, I've got a lot of brothers, so you gotta learn how to fight. So I started really young, didn't let my mom know.
Yeah.
And she found out box when she saw me on the TV. So.
And I guess it keeps you fit, keeps you out of trouble, doesn't it? And
yes.
it gives you a sort of goal, doesn't it, in that sense?
Yes, yes. It's very disciplined. It's a disciplined sport. So
yeah.
I started young, and I really love it.
Ben, how long have you been involved with Larry, and how much of your sort of job involves sort of promotion, marketing and advertising, really? Is it quite a tough job?
Well, it's not tough working with a professional like Larry, but boxing is a difficult sport. But after this win, I think we've got to the next level. So a lot of people have already contacted me after last night to say what a good performance it was. So I'm very confident we're going to be moving them on quite quickly.
Sure. And what do you think the next challenge is and the next step is?
We'll be looking for titles, so whether that's British title, Commonwealth title, or one of the international belts, and we'll be looking to fight in America as well.
Sure. Your journey in boxing, Larry, has been quite tough at times, hasn't it? Because your daughter had cancer for a while, didn't she? And that affected your sort of progress. Didn't it?
Yeah, it's been a very, very hard journey for me, but I'm happy I'm back on track now with the help of this gentleman and also my sponsors, Harry Care, and my special advisor, Mr. Bimbo Robert. With all the support that I get from these guys, he's put me back on track. So, and my little girl, she's coping well now.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. When it comes to the other advisors and the other people involved, how important is it that everybody's pulling in the same direction? Because it is a difficult world, isn't it, like you say?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, without the help of Eric, Larry's career would be looking very difficult because he was injured. Obviously, he had the situation with his daughter. Their support has basically kept Larry being able to fight. And yeah, basically they've been a huge, huge help to us. So you know, we're really grateful to them. How important is the support in Africa in terms of sort of Larry's career? Well, again, you know, this will be played out in Nigeria, and we will you know, be looking to speak to companies to help work, or indeed the government, in fact, to try and boost Nigeria's sporting profile. Who is sort of your role models in boxing? Because I know you started professionally quite late, didn't you? So you must have had sort of idols in the welterweight area or in the sort of middleweight area that you looked up to. I used to like. It's funny how I get a lot of amateurs. I watch a lot of amateurs because I never thought I would turn pro, to be honest. But the first fighter that I watched as a young kid was Sugar Ray Leonard. Oh yeah. And I always want to be like him. And also when I was growing up, I mean when I start boxing and watching all these Cuban fighters like Rigondeaux, Lomachenko, the Ukrainian, you know, I always admired him. I also have a guy, one of my friends, is like a brother to me as well, Olusegun Ajose, is someone that I look up to as a young kid as well. So those are the people that I look. There's names, there's a lot of good fighters, so I can't even. And two big names, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather as well. There you go. Those are two classic names that are going to be fighting very soon. Are you excited about that fight? Yeah. Definitely looking forward to that one. Absolutely. Your name, The Natural, that's your nickname, isn't it? Yeah. How did you get that? Because it's sort of an unusual one, isn't it? Normally you get sort of, you know, Dark Destroyer or Money Mayweather or whatever. And it's funny. It's a funny story. I was what's his name? My former manager. He gave me the name. Him and his colleague, Kieran Burns. I was at the same gym where I met Ben. There's this kid that came down to spar one of my mates, but my mate wasn't around, and I was asked to move around with him. And he was a middleweight, good kid, he can fight. And when I got in the ring, I actually like to show people what I can do. And Kieran said, you know what, your name should be The Natural as soon as you turn pro. So that's how I got the name.
Okay. And any advice for sort of aspiring boxers who are maybe on the cusp of turning pro? What would you sort of say to them, Ben, if they're about to make that move?
Well, it's a really tough sport, but get good people around you because it's tough enough as it is. You know, it's an individual sport, but you need a good team around you. So that would be my probably best advice.
Sure. When do you think that you'll be back in the ring? Is your next fight is potentially against Frankie Gavin, maybe?
You know what? I don't really put my head in one basket. I just wait for this man to make decision. Whatever route he think is the best, we go that route.
Cool. Larry, thank you very much. Ben as well, lovely to see you and a pleasure to have you on. Thanks again.
Thank you very much.
Now, let's take a look at what's been getting the attention in the world of social media today for sport. And the Australian Grand Prix crowd were treated to a taste of Hollywood today. Movie star Arnold Schwarzenegger was presenting the winners' trophies and conducted the podium interviews in front of the Albert Park crowd. The actor and politician spoke to a rather excited Lewis Hamilton there, who claimed he thought the Terminator star would be taller. To which Arnie replied he didn't have his high heels on. If you ask me, he's towering above Lewis there. Look at that. The pair finished the interview on the famous line, "I'll be back." And Hamilton almost certainly will be on the podium again if he races anything like he did today in Melbourne. And if you thought the life of a Premier League footballer was all about luxury and pampering, well, you'd be right if you follow the example of Liverpool's Jose Enrique. The defender posted this snap on Instagram of him and his girlfriend enjoying a facial treatment at a spa break in northwest England. The 23-year-old even has struggled with his first-team appearances this season due to a mix of injuries and squad rotation. I suppose it's the perfect way to spend your downtime. Larry, would you ever consider going to a spa to have a facial before your match?
I think I'm too boring for that.
I think you might be, actually, yeah. I don't think, Ben, you wouldn't be advising that, would you?
Definitely not, definitely not.
There's no point if I'm going to get punched in the face anyway.
Exactly.